guys. So, this is kind of my first video on this channel. And basically, to explain to you what this channel is going to be doing is I am going to be explaining some math stuff to you, obviously. And I'm just going to simplify it down from what your teacher may have already explained to you and try and get you to understand it a little bit better, right? Just a little bit. So today we are going to be talking about radicals, obviously, if you didn't see from me writing out on the board. And basically all the radical means is square root. That's all it is really just a square root. So, just associate radicals with a square root. So, what we're going to be doing today is just simplifying radicals. So, let's see. Square root of 9. Right? That breaks up pretty nicely. Very nicely, actually, into 3 and 3. You don't have to do the factor tree if you already have it memorized, but I'm just doing that so that you guys can see where I'm getting this from. So, a square root means that you have a 2. But, you should already know that. And that means that we are going to be looking for a group of 2. That means you have the same number twice divided into one number. That makes sense, right? So this 3, we have 2 3s from this 9, because it broke down into 3 and 3. That is a group of 2. So that means that the square root of 9 would just be 3. Right? Okay, now, if you don't have that pretty of a number, then let's go into the square root of 128. Now, 128 could break down into 32 and 4, right? Let me check. And I was right, and I still just dropped that cap. That's like the second time today. Oh well, but 32 and 4. Now for this, you can break 32 up into, let me check. You can break 32 up into 16 and 2, right? Then you can break 16 up into 4 and 4. 4 and 4 break down into 2 and 2 and 2 and 2. See? And then you're looking for the square root. So that means you're looking for a group of 2. Look, we have 2 2's right there, another 2 right there. And you still have a 2 right, actually. Yeah, let's just keep that. So we still have 1 2 right there that doesn't have 2 of them. Now we still have this 4, and that breaks up into 2 and 2 as well. Get it? Get it? Yeah. So for this, you have 2 groups of 2. So what we're going to be doing is we are going to take all 3 group of these 2's, we are going to times them together. And since there's 3 of them, there is going to be 6. We are going to put that on the outside. And since we still have this leftover 2, that is going to stay inside of our radical. Why? Because it doesn't fit in here, right? It's a loner, so it's going to stay inside. Kind of like me. I stay inside because I don't fit in right here. That's what I do. This is what this 2 is going to be doing. Does that make any sense? I hope so, right? So, to recap what I just said, 128 breaks down to 32 and 4. This 32 can break down even further and go into 16 and 2. The 16 can break down into 4 and 4 and the 4 can break down into 2 and 2. This other 4 also breaks down into 2 and 2. We are looking for a group of 2, since this is a square root. We ended up with 3 groups of 2. See that? 1, 2, 3. We still had this one left over. We took these 3 groups of 2, and since the number is 2, and we have 3 of them, we're going to times them all together to get 6. And this 2 stays under the square root. Got it? Yeah. Okay, so let's just erase this, and let's go into something maybe a little bit more confusing, maybe still easy. We'll see. If this will erase, that would be lovely. Okay, so let's go square root of 100a squared, right? Now, if you don't already know what the square root of 100 is, then let's break it down. 100 goes into 10 and 10, right? And then we don't have to break that down any further, right? So we can just group it together to make 10. 1, 10, 1. Because since this is a group, they stay together. Since we're looking for 2 of the same number. Remember that. And that would be this 10. Now we still have this a out here, so that breaks up very nicely into a and a. There is 2 of them. So our answer would be 10a. Why? Because we have one group of 10 and we have one group of a. So we combine those together to make 10a. Right? Okay, now let's say if we didn't have the square root. Let's say we had the cubed root of, let's say 20. That was not a 2. So we have this cubed root of 20. Now the cubed root means that we are going to be looking for groups of 3. That means we are going to have 3 of the same number. And hopefully this works out as nicely as I'm hoping it is going to work out. Can you even see that? There's a glare. Oh well. You know the number. So 20 breaks down into 10 and 2, right? And then the 10 can break down into 5 and 2. And that did not work at all. Okay then. So obviously the cubed root of 20 is not possible. Because that didn't work out the way I wanted it to. So let's go over here and let's do the cubed root of let me think of a number. Give me a second to think of a number. Got it this time, I promise. I have a paper now. So let's say the cubed root of 27m, right? I can't see. To the 4th and n to the 14th, okay? So 27 breaks down into, I can't even read, 4 and 3, right? Let me see. 4, 8, 12. No. 4 and, what the heck is that number? 9 and 3. I don't know why I can't read my own handwriting, guys. 9 and 3. That actually works. And then this 9 breaks down into 3 and 3. Now the 27 breaks down nicely because we have one group of 3 threes. That makes sense, right? This 3, we're looking for a group of 3. Here's 3. It just so happens that the same number happens to be 3. Please tell me that makes sense. And then this m to the 4th, we have m, and m. and m. That's 4. We have 3 m's in m to the 4th. So we are going to take that group, and that's going to stay as 1. And n to the 14th breaks down not so nicely. We only have 4 groups of 3. Because if you were to do that factor tree, which I am not going to do, 4 times 3 is 12. That means that we still have 2n left over, or n squared. So, for this, we are going to bring this 3 onto the outside because there's one group of 3. And then we still have this m, and there's still only 1, so we're just going to keep it as 1m out here because we have one group of 3m. And then this n to the 14th, we have 3 of. So this is going to be 4 of. I can't think. N to the 4th. We have it as an exponent, well, because why not? I just know that we have it as an exponent. It wouldn't really make sense if we had 4n. No, we have n to the 4th because we had 4 groups of 3n. Groups of 3. We have 4 of those. Then on the inside, we still have this 1m, so we're going to put that inside the radical, and we still have n squared, because we still have 2 after we made 12n from the 4 and the 3. Yes, that makes sense. Promise. If that doesn't, then you're screwed, because I don't know how else to explain it. So our answer here would be 3m n to the 4th square root of mn squared. Get that? Yeah. Now, that is basically how you simplify radicals. Let me erase this really fast, even though it's not going very fast because this does not want to erase well enough for my OCD to let it. Yeah. So that is basically how you simplify radicals. Sometimes you can have a not so pretty one where you have a number on the outside and still have numbers on the inside of the radical, like I just showed you with the 3m n to the 4th radical square root of n squared. Yes, that makes sense. So that is basically how you simplify radicals. That is all I'm going to explain to you guys for today. I will hopefully have another video up very soon. So thank you guys so much for watching. I sincerely hope this helped you, even though I'm not sure if it did, but hey, if you're watching this, tell me if it did. You know? This. Radicals. Simplify it down. That's all we did. So, I'm going to stop being awkward now and go. I hope this helped you guys, and I will see you guys next time. So, bye!